Chinese destroyer fires first. 27 minutes later, the South China Sea burns. Wednesday, 3:14 a.m., South China Sea, 180 nautical miles southwest of Taiwan. USS Mustin, an Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer, detected incoming radar emissions at bearing 247 degrees. Chinese Type 052D destroyer Hefei had just activated her fire control radar. Target lock on an American warship in international waters. Captain Sarah Chen on Mustin's bridge had 3 seconds to decide. Wait for authorization from Fleet Command, or respond immediately to what every tactical indicator screamed was hostile intent. The fire control radar wasn't search mode, it was targeting mode, painting Mustin for missile launch. Chinese YJ-18 anti-ship missiles required exactly this radar profile for terminal guidance. Chen knew the doctrine, knew the rules of engagement. Fire control radar lock equals hostile act, justifies immediate self-defense response. She gave the order at 3:14 a.m. in 7 seconds. Weapons free, engage the Hefei. What happened in the next 27 minutes would be studied in naval warfare courses for decades. Mustin's Spy 1D radar had been tracking the Hefei for 6 hours, knew her exact position, knew her course, knew her speed. The fire control solution was already calculated, loaded in the combat system, ready for execution. At 3:14 a.m. and 9 seconds, Mustin fired 2 SM-6 surface-to-air missiles in surface attack mode. The missiles launched vertically from VLS cells, climbed to 40,000 feet, adjusted course toward the target, accelerated to Mach 3.5. Flight time, 94 seconds. The Hefei detected the launches immediately. Her air defense systems activated. HHQ-9 long-range interceptors prepared to fire. But SM-6 wasn't a subsonic cruise missile, wasn't a sea-skimming threat the Chinese systems were optimized to defeat. It was a ballistic trajectory at hypersonic speed, coming almost straight down. Chinese point defense had 12 seconds to react when the SM-6 began terminal dive. They fired 4 interceptors. Missed. Both American missiles struck the Hefei at 3:15 a.m. in 43 seconds. First hit destroyed the forward VLS section. 32 missile cells detonated in sympathetic explosion. The blast tore off the entire bow forward of the bridge. Second hit struck amidships, penetrated the hull, detonated in the engine room. The 7,500-ton destroyer listed immediately. Dead in the water. Burning, but still dangerous. Still had weapons, still could fire. 3 more Chinese warships were operating in the area. Type 055 destroyer Nanchang positioned 40 miles northwest. Type 054A frigates Yuncheng and Suzhou, 25 miles northeast. All 3 detected Mustin's missile launches. All 3 went to battle stations. The Nanchang was flagship, carried the task group commander. Rear Admiral Liu. He had seconds to decide response. American destroyer had attacked Chinese warship. In waters, China claimed. International law said self-defense was justified, but escalating meant combat with U.S. Navy, meant casualties, meant potential war between nuclear powers. Liu made his decision in 8 seconds. Retaliate, show strength, defend Chinese sovereignty. He ordered Nanchang to launch YJ-18 anti-ship missiles at Mustin, ordered both frigates to support with their YJ-A3 missiles. Maximum firepower, overwhelming salvo. Sink the American destroyer before she could respond further. The orders went out at 3:16 a.m. The missiles launched at 3:16 a.m. in 34 seconds. 8 weapons total, all targeting Mustin. Flight time, 3 minutes. Captain Chen watched her tactical display as Chinese missile launches populated the screen. 8 contacts, all inbound, all hostile. Mustin carried 96 vertical launch cells. 72 remained loaded after firing 2 SM-6s. She had ammunition, had capability, had crew trained to exactly this scenario. Chen didn't hesitate, ordered defensive measures, chaff and decoys to confuse Chinese missiles, electronic warfare to jam guidance systems, and SM-2 interceptors to destroy the threats. But 8 missiles was a lot, more than one destroyer typically faced, more than defensive doctrine assumed. Chen knew some would get through, knew her ship would take hits, knew casualties were inevitable, but Mustin wouldn't die alone. She ordered simultaneous counterattack. Fire Harpoon anti-ship missiles at all 3 Chinese vessels. Tomahawk cruise missiles at the Nanchang. Use everything. Hit them before they could launch additional salvos. What's your tactical assessment? Type A for Mustin defending and counterstriking simultaneously. Type C for Mustin going evasive and calling for support. Comment below. Mustin launched 8 Harpoon missiles at 3:17 a.m. 4 targeted the Nanchang, 2 each for the frigates. The Harpoons dropped from angled launch canisters, ignited boosters, accelerated to 540 knots, dropped to sea-skimming altitude, 15 feet above the waves. Active radar homing, each carried 488-pound penetrating warhead. Simultaneously, Mustin fired 4 Tomahawk cruise missiles from VLS cells. All 4 targeted Nanchang. The Tomahawks followed different flight profiles. Climbed to 1,000 feet, used terrain-following navigation, would approach from different angles. Saturate Chinese defenses. The combined salvo of 12 American missiles launched in 23 seconds. Mustin's magazines were depleting fast, but offensive was best defense. Destroy threats before they could launch again. Subscribe now for minute-by-minute tactical breakdown of the most intense modern naval engagement ever recorded. This analysis goes deeper than anything available. Chinese missiles reached Mustin at 3:19 a.m. in 47 seconds. Mustin's defensive systems engaged with everything available. SM-2 missiles launched. 4 interceptors. Shot down 3 Chinese YJ-18s at 18 miles. 1 YJ-83 at 12 miles. 4 missiles destroyed. 4 remained. The Phalanx CIWS engaged at 3:19 a.m. in 58 seconds. 6 rotating barrels. 4,500 rounds per minute. Depleted uranium penetrators. Created wall of steel. Destroyed 1 YJ-83 at 2 miles. Damaged another that veered off course. Splashed into the ocean. 2 missiles left. Both YJ-18s. Both closing at 600 knots. Both locked on Mustin's radar signature. First impact at 3:20 a.m. in 4 seconds. Hit Mustin's port side amidships. 360-pound warhead detonated. Blew a 12-foot hole in the hull. Flooded 2 compartments. Killed 9 sailors instantly. Wounded 17. Second impact 3 seconds later. Hit the superstructure. Destroyed the aft SPY-1D radar array. Started fires in the hangar. Mustin's damage control teams rushed to action. Sealed bulkheads. Fought fires. Treated wounded. But the ship was hurt. Lost radar coverage aft. Lost combat capability. Still floating. Still fighting. But degraded. American Harpoon missiles reached Chinese frigates at 3:20 a.m. Yuncheng detected inbound missiles at 8 miles. Launched HHQ-16 interceptors. Short-range air defense. Shot down 1 Harpoon. The second got through. Struck the frigate's superstructure. Destroyed the main radar antenna. Started fires. Shuzhou fared worse. Both Harpoons targeting her arrived simultaneously. Chinese point defense engaged. Destroyed 1. The second hit below the waterline. Detonated in the engine room. The 4,000-ton frigate lost all power. Listed 15 degrees. Started taking on water. Not sinking yet, but crippled out of the fight. Both frigates were mission killed. Unable to continue combat operations. The Nanchang faced 8 American missiles, 4 Harpoons coming low, 4 Tomahawks coming high. Chinese Type 055 destroyer was most advanced warship in plan, had 112 vertical launch cells, sophisticated air defense systems, radar that could track 100 targets simultaneously. Admiral Liu ordered maximum defensive fire. The Nanchang launched 12 HHQ-9 long-range interceptors at the Tomahawks, 6 HHQ-10 short-range missiles at the Harpoons. Type 1130 CIWS guns engaged, 11,000 rounds per minute. The defensive fire was impressive. Shot down all 4 Tomahawks before they reached 5 miles, destroyed 3 Harpoons. But the 4th Harpoon got through. Came in from an angle the CIWS couldn't cover, struck the Nanchang at the waterline. Detonated, blew a 10-foot hole. Flooding started immediately. Damage control teams responded. But the 13,000-ton destroyer was taking on water. Speed reduced. Combat capability diminished. USS Mustin wasn't finished. Despite damage, despite fires, despite casualties. Captain Chen still had weapons, still had fight left. At 3:22 a.m., she ordered final salvo, 4 more harpoons, targeted the damaged Hefei, finished what was started. The missiles launched. The Hefei was burning, listing, couldn't defend effectively. 3 harpoons hit within 15 seconds of each other. The combined explosions were catastrophic. The destroyer's keel fractured. She broke in 2. Both sections sank within 4 minutes. 280 Chinese sailors went down with her. Don't miss the aftermath and strategic implications of this engagement. Subscribe and hit that bell for continuing coverage. Admiral Liu on Nanchang had to make another decision. Continue fighting, launch more missiles, try to sink Mustin or break off, withdraw, accept losses, save remaining ships. The Mustin was damaged but still dangerous, still had missiles, still could fight. Nanchang was damaged too, taking on water. 1 frigate crippled, 1 frigate damaged, 1 destroyer sunk. Continuing the fight risked losing more ships. Liu ordered ceasefire at 3:24 a.m., ordered withdrawal. The Chinese vessels turned away, headed northwest toward Chinese territorial waters. Mustin didn't pursue, didn't have capability, needed to focus on damage control, on saving the ship, on treating wounded. The engagement was over. Total elapsed time, 27 minutes. From first shot to last. From initial radar lock to final withdrawal. Casualty count was sobering. USS Mustin, 9 killed, 23 wounded. Significant damage but afloat and under power. Chinese destroyer Hefei, sunk, 280 crew lost. Chinese frigate Suzhou, crippled, 18 killed, 34 wounded. Chinese frigate Yuncheng damaged, 6 killed, 14 wounded. Chinese destroyer Nanchang damaged, 11 killed, 27 wounded. Total Chinese casualties, 315 killed, 75 wounded, 1 destroyer sunk, 3 ships damaged, 1 American destroyer damaged. The exchange ratio heavily favored United States. Superior weapons, superior training, superior tactics, all validated in 27 minutes of actual combat. The tactical lessons were immediate and stark. Modern naval combat happens fast. Decisions measured in seconds. Weapons traveling at supersonic speeds. No time for committee decisions. No time for political approval. Captains must be empowered to act, must trust their training, must engage threats immediately. Hesitation means death. Captain Chen's immediate response to hostile fire control radar saved her ship. If she'd waited for authorization, Chinese missiles would have launched first, would have hit Mustin before American defenses were ready. Speed of decision equals survival. Technology advantages proved decisive. American SM-6 missiles outranged Chinese weapons, could engage from positions Chinese couldn't match. SM-2 interceptors shot down more threats than Chinese HHQ-9s. Phalanx CIWS had higher engagement success rate than Chinese Type 1130. Every system performed better, not slightly better, significantly better. The technological gap translated directly to battlefield superiority. Better sensors detected threats earlier. Better weapons destroyed more targets. Better training employed systems more effectively. Cumulative advantage was overwhelming. What should naval forces learn from this engagement? How should doctrine change? Share your analysis in comments below. Chinese losses highlighted strategic vulnerabilities. Type 052D destroyer, supposedly cutting edge, sunk in 27 minutes. Type 055 flagship damaged despite advanced defenses. Frigates overwhelmed by American missile salvos. Chinese shipbuilding had produced impressive numbers, but numbers didn't mean capability. Training didn't match equipment. Doctrine didn't employ systems effectively. Crew proficiency was inadequate. The systemic problems that plagued Chinese military showed clearly. Individual Chinese sailors fought bravely. System failed them. Command decisions were slow. Defensive fire was uncoordinated. Damage control was insufficient. Cultural and organizational weaknesses proved more important than hardware specifications. American damage control saved Mustin, hit twice by anti-ship missiles that should have sunk her, but training kicked in. Damage control teams sealed breaches, fought fires, maintained buoyancy, kept systems operational. The ship survived because her crew knew what to do, had practiced hundreds of times. Executed under stress. American emphasis on damage control training paid immediate dividends. Chinese crews lacked equivalent preparation. The Hefei sank. Suzhou was crippled. Nanchang barely stayed afloat. Similar damage, different outcomes. Training made the difference. This level of detailed tactical analysis requires extensive military expertise. Support this channel with a like if this minute-by-minute breakdown provided real value. Strategic implications were enormous. China and United States had exchanged fire, real combat, ships damaged, sailors killed. The conflict everyone feared had begun, but it hadn't escalated. Both sides showed restraint after initial engagement. Liu withdrew rather than continue. Chen didn't pursue. Crisis management prevented wider war. Hotlines between Washington and Beijing activated immediately. Both sides emphasized desire to de-escalate. Both claimed self-defense. Both blamed the other for starting it, but both wanted to stop it. The engagement proved that tactical combat didn't automatically mean strategic war, that professional militaries could fight and still choose restraint. International reaction was panicked. Stock markets crashed, oil prices spiked. Emergency UN Security Council session. NATO went on alert. Every nation bordering Pacific scrambled to understand implications. Would this spread? Would this escalate? Would nuclear powers go to war over a destroyer engagement? The next 48 hours were critical. Washington and Beijing both issued statements, regretted the loss of life, committed to preventing further incidents, agreed to establish immediate communication protocols, would share information, would coordinate movements, would prevent accidental encounters. The diplomatic response was swift because both sides understood the alternative. 27 minutes of naval combat showed how quickly situations could spiral. How many could die? How much was at stake? Taiwan watched with mixed emotions. American destroyer had fought Chinese warships, had won decisively, proved American commitment was real, proved American forces were superior, but also proved how close war was, how easily shooting could start, how vulnerable everyone was. Taiwan increased alert status, called up reserves, but also reached out to both Washington and Beijing, urged restraint, emphasized peaceful resolution. The last thing Taiwan wanted was war triggered by naval skirmish in South China Sea. Regional allies drew clear conclusions. Japan increased maritime patrols, coordinated more closely with U.S. Navy. Philippines reaffirmed alliance commitments. Australia deployed additional naval assets. South Korea enhanced readiness. Every ally understood the message. Naval combat in Pacific was real possibility, not theoretical anymore. Had to prepare, had to train, had to be ready. The 27-minute engagement changed planning assumptions across the region. If you made it this far, you're part of our dedicated military analysis community. Like, subscribe, and share with anyone who needs to understand modern naval warfare. Chinese military faced internal reckoning. Hefei sunk. Task group defeated. Admiral Liu's career was over. Relief of command came within 48 hours. Investigation followed. How did this happen? Why did Chinese forces lose so decisively? The answers were uncomfortable. American technology was superior. American training was better. American tactics were more effective. Chinese military modernization hadn't closed gaps, had possibly widened them in some areas. The embarrassment was compounded by propaganda that claimed Chinese Navy could match U.S. Navy. Reality proved otherwise. 27 minutes proved otherwise. One damaged American destroyer defeated 4 Chinese warships. Sank 1, damaged 3. The mathematics were brutal, the conclusions unavoidable. American Navy analyzed obsessively. What went right? What went wrong? What could be improved? Captain Chen's decision to engage immediately was validated. Her aggressive counterattack was praised. Her damage control saved the ship, but losses hurt. 9 sailors dead, 23 wounded. Could anything have prevented it? Should anything have been done differently? The analysis would continue for months, but initial assessment was positive. Mustin performed as designed. Crew performed as trained. Systems performed as expected. The engagement validated decades of investment, billions in technology, years of training, all proved effective under most demanding conditions. The 27 minutes between 3:14 a.m. and 3:41 a.m. changed everything. Proved modern naval combat is fast, violent, deadly. Proved technology advantages matter, training matters, doctrine matters. Proved American naval forces are superior, not theoretically, actually, in real combat against real threats. Proved China's numerical advantages don't overcome qualitative gaps. Proved restraint is possible even after shooting starts. Proved maritime security in Indo-Pacific depends on strength, on readiness, on will to fight when necessary. Wednesday morning was tragic. 9 American sailors died, 3 to 15 Chinese sailors died, all serving their countries, all doing their duty. Their sacrifice taught brutal lessons about modern warfare, about great power competition, about price of freedom of navigation, about cost of maintaining peace through strength. The South China Sea burned for 27 minutes. The lessons will burn forever, in memory, in doctrine, in planning, in strategy. 27 minutes that showed what modern naval war looks like, what it costs, what it achieves, what it prevents. That's Wednesday at 3:14 a.m. That's USS Mustin versus Planned Task Group. That's American naval power under fire. That's 27 minutes nobody will forget. What happens next between US and China navies? How should rules of engagement change? Will this prevent or encourage future incidents? Comment your predictions below. Your engagement determines what we analyze next. Every comment, every like, every share. Subscribe now, enable notifications. Because naval tensions continue, more incidents are possible, more engagements could occur. This channel tracks every development, every tactical lesson, every strategic implication. 27 minutes changed everything, but the story isn't over. More ships patrol, more radars scan, more weapons stand ready, and you need to understand what comes next. What Wednesday morning meant, what lessons were learned, what changes are coming. That's what we deliver. Real tactical analysis, real strategic assessment, real understanding of modern naval warfare. Wednesday was just one engagement, more will follow, and you'll understand them all. Because this channel brings you inside the combat, inside the decisions, inside the 27 minutes that changed Pacific naval security forever.